ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our Starladder Season 8 Day 23 coverage. We've got Game 3 of 7 coming at you live here. We've got RoX.KiS versus Virtus Pro. Now, Hippie did have to step out for at least a game here, as he did have an IRL commitment. He should be back later on in the cast, but we do have someone just as good here in his stead. Of course, Liquid Bulba going to be with us. So, Bulba, thanks for coming on. How are you, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Glad to hear it.
Virtus Pro's turn
feeling
to
good.
pick.
So, any initial thoughts? You're coming into RoX.KiS versus Virtus Pro?
I know a little bit about both teams. I don't know. They're both kind of random, meaning one game they'll pick something and the next game they'll change it up. So I don't have much information about the teams. At least the Russian teams are kind of a mystery at the moment.
Yeah.
Probably all the teams are right now, just because the picks are so different. Like each team picks different heroes.
Yeah.
It's like some teams value some heroes, other teams value other heroes. Surprised to see a Venomancer pick, actually. We haven't seen that hero much at all lately.
Point and center right there. Some teams still value Veno as a first pick, and most really don't seem to, following his nurse in 6.79C. Also important to note, Virtus Pro with a couple of stand-ins here. JOTM and Illidan, sort of permanent stand-ins, I guess. They've been standing in for VP a bit, but stand-ins nonetheless. Now, important to note here in terms of the round robin, RoX.KiS are actually in a great position. Right now, they are 9-2, tied for third place with Sigma International. Virtus Pro 8-7, so their chances of making the top four pretty much non-existent at this point. But RoX.KiS, they really need this one. They've had a great run so far. They've been playing very well, and we'll see if they can continue that domination streak here against Virtus Pro.
It's crazy right now because all the teams are have positive records or something, because there's 3 teams that have lost every game in the Starladder ranking. So it's the top 4 is so close. Any team can have it.
It's true. I don't think anyone is safe right now because the top 2 are Alliance and Na'Vi, and they're both 11-3. So it's still anyone's for the taking. It's going to be interesting here as we get towards the last few days of the round robin. But Dazzle, second pick by RoX.KiS. They've run a little bit of Dazzle, but I don't think we have yet to see him second picked here in the round robin of Starladder Season 8. So I'm a little excited about this. He does pair nicely with that Bristleback, of course.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a Shadow Priest and Dazzle offlane dual lane, I think. They've run this before as well, yeah. And the Venomancer pick, I understand why they picked it so early. I think Veno is actually one of the good heroes versus Bristleback. There's some heroes that are really good versus that hero. I think Necrolite is one of them. And then I think Timbersaw is really good versus him as well. So I'm surprised they didn't take the Timbersaw. I think Timbersaw is actually better than Veno versus Bristol, but I guess they wanted a support instead of an early Timbersaw pick.
And they went for the Nature's Prophet instead of the Timbersaw, and they'll actually ban him out here. So it's sort of an interesting choice. And wow, there you go, right on point. RoX.KiS going to ban out the Necrophos. And I think on paper, it's true. Necrophos does serve as a bit of a counter to the Bristleback, but in the games that I've casted, at least, I don't think I've actually seen someone pick it. I think in Starladder so far of this round robin, we've seen no Necrolite love. So, I don't know. I've seen the Asian teams pick him a little, though. Yeah,
the Asian teams are the ones I think that have been picking it quite a bit. But I don't think the Western teams pick it that much. I don't know. Bristleback's it's like a weird hero, I think. It's he can fit in any lane, really, except probably mid. Even mid, I've seen him play occasionally, but I think Necro is obviously the best hero versus him, and then Timbersaw as well. And OD honestly isn't that bad versus him because OD does pure damage, so the nukes do the orbs do a lot of damage. So I think it's up to VP right now to deal with that dual lane. That's going to be Shadow Priest and Bristle. They need to pick something strong that can beat it. I think Weavers might be good or something. I don't know, because I've seen them run Weaver quite a bit.
Yeah, Weaver could work well here. We'll see how this draft continues to unfold here. The ban's looking fairly straightforward. They will settle down on a 4th ban OD for Virtus Pro. But a little bit curious how they want to run this Veno. Since they picked him so early, well, scratch that. I was going to say maybe this could be a Veno mid-game, but of course they will grab Puck third here. And no doubt, mid-Fairy Dragon for VP.
Yeah, it's... I'm confused. The Puck pick, I haven't seen this hero picked a lot lately. The hero is actually one of the lowest win rates if you check the stats.
Really?
And he just his win rate lately has been quite low. I think he was really strong the old patch, but now it's he doesn't seem as strong. I think the playstyles are changed, but
wow, you're right. He's got a 41% win rate since 6.79. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's pretty low.
Games. Yeah. All right.
Oh god, the Slark. The Slark pick. This hero is actually incredibly broken, I think. The Slark hero? Oh my god.
So what
He's
role
actually
do you like Slark, though? We've seen him play off lane, position 1, and mid. Where do you think he thrives best?
I think he's best as off lane or safe lane. I don't know if he's that good mid, honestly. I think he's fine mid. I think some teams value him mid. But I think safe lane, if you put him safe lane, he'll beat anything 1v1. And he's really hard to kill as well. Like, the hero doesn't really need much farm. That's the thing about him. That's why you can go offlane as well. So with the new offlane changes, it's also easy. But considering they have Shadow Priest and Bristle, I think that might be just a offlane. And I think RoX runs Scandal on the Slark, so that's probably a Slark mid.
Yeah. We'll see how they want to do it. I'm trying to remember back to how RoX.KiS like to do it. It really seems to go based on teams, and that's the position they put on Slark in wherever they feel he fits best. There's really not a universal understanding of how teams like to run Slark, and my memory is not serving me here with RoX.KiS's history of Slark. But how about that 4th pick, Ancient Apparition? That's a hero that we don't see a lot of. Any thoughts on him as a support in our current meta, especially paired with the Venomancer here?
The AA pick. I don't know. I think they just want something to stop the Shadow Priest heals. And I guess AA is decent versus Bristle. I'm not really sure. I don't know if... The problem right now is with their lineup. What did they do versus Slark? Like, Slark completely owns Venomancer. Because the first spell takes away Gale and it takes away the ultimate.
Yeah.
Which is like, makes that hero null. Like, what does a Veno do versus Slark?
Nothing.
Then,
You just
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
man.
I don't know if the first spell on Slark takes away the AA ulti. That might be a bit too dumb. I don't know. That hero is kind of like really strong. So I don't know if
See,
the first spell
if
takes
it
away.
takes off Poison Nova, I would think that it takes off Ice Blast, but you're right. Ice Blast is one of those kind of special spells, so to speak. There isn't really a good word for it. So I'm really not sure. Slark is in a weird state right now of things that work on him and things that don't.
I don't know. It's like Slark's like I think in Dota 1 it was like the ultimate. I mean the first nuke or whatever that takes away things. It was kind of like how Yules worked. So it'd be like the hero casting Yules on itself every time that happens.
Right.
And Yules takes away Poison Nova.
Okay.
I don't know if Yules takes away AA ulti. I'm not sure. I think it might, but
We don't see
regardless-
AA enough for me to have good data on that.
But I think Puck is a pretty good hero versus Slark. I think, unless the Slark's like really good, and he gets the Q spell off before the guy blinks in and silences him. But any silence is good on the hero. And then the Clinks. They have some really like hard heroes to kill. It's a Clinks, a Slark, a Shadow Priest, and Bristle. They have like these tanky heroes. And looking at the picker, it's not that surprising because Goblack's been known for those kind of picks. He picks like these really tanky heroes. I think it was like last year. He just picked Undying a bunch. He just picks these really tanky heroes. So.
Yeah. Wow, Visage actually making it into a 5th ban slot here. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and call this here. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I think we're going to see a Treant last pick here from Go Black. That just is right up his alley. That would add so much additional survivability to this team. I don't know. He does like that hero. He did pick it yesterday or the day before.
What hero?
Treant Protector. Tree.
Tree's pretty good. I don't know if they pick Tree. Tree's not that good versus Veno though. That's the problem.
That's true, yeah.
I think they're gonna pick some like maybe a Bane or something.
Bane could work
I'm
here.
not sure. They need to support. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Goblack supports. What heroes is he like? Tree, Bane.
Those are the only two that come to mind. So I know he likes Dazzle a bit also, but
Yeah.
I mean, Visage would have been a good pick as well. I think that was a smart ban from VP here.
That's another thing between like these teams and then like the Asian teams. Oh, Chaos. Oh, that's an AACK dual lane mid or what?
Wow. So rare to see CK without his Wisp buddy.
Yeah,
And
that was like one of the strongest lanes in Dota 1 at least. AACK mid.
Interesting. And you may want to double check your in-game. I see some people
Yeah,
saying
I don't. I'm like trying to fix it. I hear the open mic threshold underneath the green bar. I hear it go up, but I guess people can't hear me.
I don't know.
Because I have enable open mic on.
Let me double check here. Yeah, it should be enable open mic, and then maybe if you just move the threshold slider a little bit lower, maybe.
I think it might be better now.
Okay. Well, we'll see. 2 minutes, so we'll see if that's better or not. So yeah, CKAA, this is going to be interesting. And Virtus.pro are in a position here where they're already not going to be top 4, so this is the time to try and experiment and do something a little bit different, a characteristic of the meta perhaps. But talking about win rates, CK is another one where without Wisp, he has something like a 38-40% win rate. With Wisp, it's somewhere positive, like 60 or so. But CK by his lonesome.
I don't know about CK. CK by himself, like I haven't seen this hero win much by himself.
Yeah.
It's like
He
he
doesn't.
just gets kited.
Yeah, he really needs that taxi service to just to have the insane farm and the combination of even. He doesn't even seem like the popular pick with Wisp anymore. Teams seem to favor Ursa and Tiny over CK a fair bit.
Well, the hero got nerfed quite a bit because before the stun was like instant, but now it's like a projectile or something. So you can like dodge it with like stuns. And I don't know if CK is that good versus Slark. It seems like Slark is just gonna own the CK.
Yeah.
His illusions are gonna die to the AoE spell Slark has, and then Slark's just gonna use the Dark Pact whenever CK sends the stun.
Yeah.
So
Well, I do like the Puck and AA choices to try and deal with Slark. Of course, even though he is undetectable when in that ultimate form, he is not immune to AoEs, so anyone that can throw out AoE damage in his area still affects him, and a good way to try and deal with him. And as you mentioned, anybody with a silence really does well against Slark. So we'll see how they fare. Let's go ahead and introduce our rosters here, though. Looks like Virtus.pro will be doing a tri-lane, not that duo lane mid that you were suggesting here. Stand-in Illidan going to be on the Chaos Knight. Stand-in JOTM going to be on the Venomancer. Virtus.pro, who is that? Is that Smile? I don't know who this is tagged up as on the Virtus.pro Ancient Apparition. But
yeah, that's Arzart.
Smile. Oh, that's Arzart. Okay, there we go. Arzart. God going to be on the Puck in the mid lane, and in the long lane here it will be Light of Heaven playing on the Nature's Prophet. Now on the dire side, of course, we do have RoX.KiS. Sadoy going to be the one in control of the Bristleback, playing a little long lane down in the bottom. Go Black going to be on the Dazzle, rotating up towards the top. Biz going to be solo mid on the Slark up against the Puck. Yol going to be on the Crystal Maiden, also headed up to that top lane, and they will be tri-laning with Scandal on that hard farming Clinks. So the tri-lane's not going to be going up against one another, and this, well, going to be good news for both sides, but I think particularly for Chaos Knight, because that is one hero that once he starts to fall off, doesn't have a great recovery mechanism. And right now it is actually a dual lane mid. Both sides do have some supports. Go Black going to linger around a bit, and Arzart rotating between the mid and the bottom. We'll see where he ends up.
Okay, so this, I don't know if the Shadow Priest is going to really do much mid lane. Like, what does the Shadow Priest do versus the Puck? Like, he's just stealing experience right now from the Puck, you know?
Yeah, from the Slark, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry, from the Slark. So
Yeah.
I guess the reason he's staying mid is because he can't really do anything bottom. Because I think this tri-lane they had with Veno, AA, and CK is just going to own the Shadow Priest. Like, they're just going to go on the Shadow Priest and he's going to die.
Yeah.
So I think he assumes he has to stay mid and just help the Slark. But I don't think Slark needs the help.
I mean, it's...
Slark?
Yeah. I think you're kind of right. It's one of those, there isn't really a great spot for him. As you mentioned, in the bottom, I don't think he's going to be able to do much to help Sadoy, and that'll hurt his own experience. Crystal Maiden is going to be more than enough to help Clinks up top, who actually doesn't even really need much help against Nature's Prophet, and Yol will have kind of control of the jungle. So this is the only spot that Go Black can really linger in, and yeah, he's going to steal some experience, but if he can zone out this Puck a little bit, can secure some good farm for Slark, though so far not really zoning out too much farm. Puck 5-1, Slark 6-2. Still very comparable, except they're sharing experience, so... At least out of the gate, this Dazzle pick a little bit just not fitting into their laning phase.
I think that they just picked the hero for the mid-game presence. They're just going to...
Knock down some
hope,
towers.
yep, going to hope, and then they're just going to make this Bristleback really tanky.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Scandal's been missing quite a bit of CS top lane. I guess he's soloing. The Crystal Maid isn't really helping him or anything, but he's missing quite a bit of CS.
Yeah.
So the CK is going to be... Not, I guess, quite not that much, because I guess the CM pulled the lane or something. But
yeah,
wonder what like Virtus.pro's like movement's gonna be, because their supports are just sharing experience down here. They aren't really. I guess they're stopping their Bristleback from getting levels, but
yeah, I mean they are going to be able to move into the jungle here and try and help out. Bristleback does not have a ward, so he has no idea if the supports are nearby, ready to gank, or if they're they're just in the jungle and he's safe to go up. A lane ward may help. In game, it just occurred to me you may want to try and make sure Dota didn't pick up like another weird mic device or something. That does happen sometimes. Grabs like a webcam or something. I kind of grasping at straws, but. Food for thought, perhaps. Not the end of the world. I see your little thing popping up here, so I don't know. Kind of weird.
is this better?
I can't tell. I don't know. I have it muted so we don't get feedback, but we'll see here in a minute or two. And oh, Puck taking a good bit of damage, but still going to be able to survive. Yeah, Puck just a little bit too elusive for this duo of Dazzle and Slark to really be too potent. I mean, yeah, they can harass him a little bit, but They're still not slowing down Puck's farm all that much. Puck's still 12 and 4.
I think the biggest thing is the experience, because Slark's just now got level 3. He's still actually level 3. Puck's going to be level 5 already, so he's 2 levels above the Slark.
Yeah. And
he has around the same CS as the Slark. So that when the hero you're dual laning versus has more experience than you and the same amount of CS, you know that dual lane is just like complete failure.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely a good metric. We will see a smoke from Virtus Pro. Arzard as well as Jotum will rotate towards the top lane here, and they have snuck by. So RoX.KiS don't know that they've rotated. Sadoy probably thinking they might still be nearby.
Reconnect really fast.
Yeah,
maybe
sure, no problem. Pretty quiet early game here anyhow. Though it looks like we could see a skirmish about this top rune. It is going to be an invisibility. Go Black's going to pick it up. Arzard going to harass him just a little, but not much going to come of it. There is a sentry down, but of course it is a dire sentry, so Go Black going to be just fine. He is level 3, 1/1/1 opener. Pretty standard stuff. But yeah, this experience for God is huge. Is that better? Maybe?
Yeah, I think it's better now. Maybe it's working. I'm not sure.
All right.
Have to wait for the Twitch chat to see.
Yeah.
But they're going to be going on the Veno.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Veno going to get caught. That's going to be an easy first blood. Slark going to finish him off. Now God going to come in, though. He's going to do a lot of return damage. Yol going to fall. And maybe even more. Go Black in some trouble. Is he going to get the grave off? Not going to have the time for it as Light of Heaven ports in. So the first blood does go the way of RoX.KiS on that Slark. But they make it a 2-for-1 as Virtus Pro clean it up. Nice support from Light of Heaven there as he ports in to secure the kill.
That was a really good trade there for VP, even though they didn't get the first blood. The Puck got 2 assists, and the Fury also he's going to be that much closer to the Midas because he got an assist there.
Yeah. Yep. And Slark going to hop forward. Will leash with God, but yeah, Puck just not a good target for the Slark. How's Sadoy doing here in the offlane? He is sitting level 4 on that Bristleback. I think he has been, not stuck in the Ancients here, but sitting level 4, he's doing okay compared to Furion. Light of Heaven is doing slightly better. Did go early Basilius into Gloves of Haste, and looks like he'll just be moving into the jungle to pick up a Hand of Midas. Pretty standard Furion opener here, and that will leave Scandal to free farm, so he's now caught up to the CK, and they are just about tied, 35-36 creep kills apiece, so just about on point with one another. Chaos Knight. Power treads to start things off. Nothing too crazy happening on that front either. So his farm is okay. I still just worry about this Chaos Knight pick here and if he's really going to have a strong presence. I mean, we'll see. They are going to start chipping away at this tower, but without, it's just been so rare to see a CK without Wisp. I haven't seen it in so long, but I just worry about the amount of pressure he'll be able to put out. Looks like Virtus Pro will be able to grab the first tower kill of the match, though with this tier 1 down in the bottom, RoX.KiS just going to let it fall, and CK will be the one to grab the last hit, so that is good news for Virtus Pro. That gold graph definitely going to swing in their favor here, now going to be over 2k, and they have a decent experience lead as well.
Scandal's not going the typical Midas route. Most of the Clinks these days, they go for the first item Midas if they're safe lane, and then with the Midas they just get so many levels, but Scandal's just going to go for the rushing Orchid build, which I guess is he wants to be more of an actor presence early game with this build. Yeah. However, I do think the Midas is like, if you get the Midas early, you can get the Midas and the Orchid around the same time you get Orchid and Treads. Yeah. Which is quite, really strong. So I'm surprised Scandal isn't going for that.
Yeah, the Midas pick is all about that room, and if he's going to be able to capitalize on it, then it usually is a good pick, and he just has absolute free farm up here. I mean, Furion is definitely going to be comfortable in the jungle. They may rotate up to the top lane here, and yeah, he'll port back up as Clinks is pushing into the tower, but I think a Midas certainly would have paid off here. And we see RoX.KiS continuing to harass Puck. They try to set up a kill, but God just going to be a bit too elusive. Leash really rendered pretty much useless against Puck, as he can just orb phase shift and then hop right to it, and it mitigates the leash as he hops to the orb. So not much that Biz can do.
I think to RoX.KiS to make their first move though, because I do feel if this goes like late game, the Furion is going to get too farmed, and CK, even though he isn't that strong, with the ultimate and late game with like a Manta and a Heart and stuff and a BKB, CK is quite potent in the fights. Yeah. And Furion already has his Midas, so he has an 8-minute Midas, which is honestly isn't that bad because he was offlane.
Yeah, that's pretty solid for
some reason he's not using it.
The position he was in. It's just fresh, keeping it shiny. But yeah, it looks like we could see a team fight break out up top here. Scandal is going to skeleton walk his way forward looking for an opening. Not going to find it. And Biz actually with a haste rune does rotate up as well. But effort's not going to be successful. A very, very quiet game. Very a-characteristic of the CIS scene here. They built up that reputation of being hyper-aggressive. We've got 3 kills in 8.5 minutes. Kind of a snooze fest here.
I think both teams are just going to try and get them as much levels as possible. The Slark is... He has around the same CS as the Puck. And obviously that was partly because of the Shadow Priest. I think Puck can beat Slark if it's a pure 1v1 matchup. But since Shadow Priest was there, it was fine. And Slark's actually a hero that farms really fast with the first spell. He can do neutrals insanely fast, especially if they're stacked. Because he regens really fast with the ultimate, and then the first spell, it takes barely any mana. So you can just keep spamming it.
Yeah.
So I hope this... Maybe the Slark's just going to go for some drums, probably. I think he's going to go drums. Or the other build is like Shadow Blade, which isn't that bad.
Yeah, the Shadow Blade opener is... pretty common. And oh, there we go. Gonna pounce forward once again. The same story, different chapter. Orb backwards, mitigates the leash, throws out a Waning Rift, and Slark forced to retreat. And that's it. They just do about half damage to each other and head back to their own side of the river. So, rinse and repeat there. Sudoi, though, he is starting to find a bit of farm on that Bristleback. He was long lane, so did struggle a bit. Looks like he's going to go for the mech first. He does have the buckler complete, sitting level 6. So it could be worse for the Bristleback. Obviously not quite on par with that Furion. He does have the Hand of Midas. And let's take a look at this gold graph. Still Virtus Pro with a pretty solid lead. About 2,000 gold. Experience graph pretty negligible. Just a couple hundred. Nothing insane. But that Midas will start to kick in. And those offlaners are kind of the source of the disparity. Of course, that one tower kill. Well, in the mid, actually, Go Black and Biz going to take a lot of damage from that Wrath of Nature. Unfortunately, the follow-up isn't there. But
look at what Illidan is doing with the Veno. It's actually really smart because they're staying in the fog right now. And that making them staying in the fog, it doesn't really let RoX.KiS know where the other team is. So Scandal is playing really passive top lane because he thinks they're actually ganking him. He's not farming the lane. He's been sitting on near the tower for the past like a minute or so. And as soon as the CK shows on the map, look, he just showed on the bottom rune. Yeah. As soon as he shows, Scandal goes back to farming the lane. So the CK is like really the only hero that can kill the Clinks this early. They need more damage because I don't think the Puck can really solo kill him. They need maybe a Puck +2 or just the CK by himself with another hero.
Yeah. And you're right. Scandal now going to start chipping away at this tower. Furion will join him up here, and actually the glyph going to be burned, so Scandal will retreat, thinking that there's going to be some defense incoming. Illidan's starting to be a bit more mobile now. He does have an armlet to go with those power treads, and there it is. Arzark going to hit level 6, and oh no, Biz going to walk back into it, and he's actually going to take a lot of damage here. Very, very low. And he is going to get the shallow grave. Probably going to be needed. But yeah, I was just going to point out the Ancient Apparition here. Finally level 6, and maybe this is when Virtus Pro will have that option to get a bit more aggressive. They will group up in the mid lane, and this tier 1 tower are going to take some heavy damage. RoX.KiS do have a glyph, and it looks like they do want to hold as both Scandal and Biz going to come around the backside. JOTM going to get obliterated by the Slark to start this off. The Dream Coil comes out. Scandal will get stunned here as he does take a... Wait, actually, did the Dream Coil? No, Dream Coil not used, pardon me. That was the CK stun. Thought I heard the Dream Coil sound. So, that will stop Scandal in his tracks, and it ends up just being a 1-0. Venomancer going to go back to the grave. Only level 4, so he's back already.
Yep. That's a really big kill there for Scandal, because he's going to have his Orchid right after this this neutral camp. He has it right now.
Yeah.
And with that Orchid, the Puck actually can't farm anywhere by himself. It's even when he gets the blink, Scandal can solo kill him. Like, Puck will die to Scandal until he gets a Ghost Scepter or a Yule's, one of the two. He isn't close to the blink, honestly. So it's going to be really hard for the Puck to play this game, I think, because the Clinks already has an Orchid.
Yeah, and that's part of that not going Midas first. I guess if he went Midas, given how much room he has, maybe it would have delayed the Orchid by a minute or two. But a very quick Orchid timing indeed. In the mid, we'll see a Dream Coil come out this time for the solo Bristleback Arzard ulti. There's too many AAs. Arzard, Ancient Apparition. Ancient Apparition ulti, not going to do much here. And now it looks like they do want to initiate. They're going to go in onto Illidan. He is going to get pounced upon, and the leash will connect. But did Biz overcommit? Maybe he did. He will get the shallow grave. That's going to buy him a little bit of time. And enough to keep him alive as he does hop backwards. Going to have some wand charges as well. There's the Reality Rift from Chaos Knight. They do finish off the Slark. Tower falls as well. And Scandal very late to the fight. He is going to make it in now. Orchid going to get popped. He's going to try and finish off Illidan. Not sure it's going to be enough damage. Just going to turn on the Veno. That's the end of the Venomancer. Now God's starting to take some damage. Scandal just needs to pick a target here. And it looks like it will be Light of Heaven. Illidan going to come back in. Ancient Apparition ulti, they're going to turn it around. Now Sedoy in some trouble. He'll fall as well. The Chaos Knight survives, and Virtus Pro going to find the better of it here, as they will be able to finish off Yol as well. They get the tower and a 2 for 4.
That was such a good AOT there from Marzar. He was the MVP of that fight. His chilling touch hit all of the entire team, so they did so much damage, and then his AOT hit like 3 of them. That was just perfect play. And look at his gold. He has like 2.7k already, 2.6k.
He did get a triple kill right there, and he's actually 5-0-1. He has picked up 5 of the 6 kills that Virtus Pro have landed so far. Not surprised to see he's so rich, and it looks like he's just going to go for a fast Ag Scepter, Point Booster, and Ogre Club picked up immediately.
Yep, he's going to have an Ags really fast. And once you have an Ags early on AA, and the other team doesn't have like a BKB, it's just impossible to fight. The ALT with the Furion ulti is actually just going to kill most of the heroes here. Unless like it's like the ALT is going to go through the grave, meaning that the grave duration is going to be shorter than the ALT. So
yes, yeah, that's true. That is very true. So let's look at these gold grabs. Virtus Pro now furthering their lead by a good margin, about 5,000 gold, somewhere about 2,000 experience. They are in good shape. CK still leading the net worth chart. He is just about to hit level 11. He did pick up a set of drums there to go with that armlet and power tread, so he's slowly but surely getting scarier. And Scandal was just so late to that last fight. If he had gotten there a little bit earlier, they might have had a better chance, but very unfortunate. Now Sedoy going to be in some trouble down here in the bottom lane. Puck going to initiate on him. Does burn the Dream Coil, able to finish him off. Clink's going to initiate on the Puck. Will it be enough? No, that Orchid damage will not finish off the Fairy Dragon, and Puck will survive to tell the tale. So it ends up being a free kill the way of Virtus Pro, as Bristleback does head back to the grave.
Yep. It was a really good gank there from G. He's actually been making a lot of plays as well. I think G can go around and get solo kills, because the power with Puck and Furion, and Alliance ran this a lot, is just that the Furion ultimate with the Puck burst damage, like most heroes can't survive it. Just Puck blinks in and silences and then orbs and then Furion ultis, and then most of the heroes die in the map. Even like the Slark can die. Yep. There's at least one other hero helping.
It's a lot of damage indeed, and Nature's Prophet will go for a Necronomicon first, so not going to do that classic Shadow Blade into Sheepstick or anything like that. He is going to go pushing Nature's Prophet with Necrobook level 1, his first item, following that Midas. Puck has his Blink, as we saw demonstrated in that bottom lane, and other item pickups here, no, not too much. Crystal Maiden does have a Hand of Midas, the lone Hand of Midas carrier for RoX.KiS, and there actually is a mech out on the Bristleback. Looks like Slark with that Ogre Club going to be going for a BKB first. Any thoughts about that item path? That's not a trajectory that we mentioned when talking about Slark.
I think he has to get it because of the AA. Like most of the damage is all magic, and Sedoy's going to be in trouble.
Yep, Sedoy in big trouble here. Dream Coil going to make for a pretty easy AA ulti. Illidan just going to obliterate him. Of course, he did pop the ultimate. So, or no, are those illusions? Oh, he didn't pop the Phantasm. There's regular illusions. Okay, my mistake.
No, he paused.
Oh, he did. Oh, geez. I clicked on the illusion and saw the ult was off cooldown, and that's what confused me. Okay, so my apologies. He used the Phantasm, makes for a very easy kill. So, yeah, down goes the Bristle.
Because he needs the BKB just because of the magic damage. Even though the ALT will, like, it won't, the BKB will, like, it'll just be on there still. It'll still be on the BKB hero. It just limits a lot of the magic damage. So
necessity here almost. So we already see some initiation though. JOTM going to be in some trouble as Slark hops on him. Scandal taking a lot of damage. He'll be the first to fall, though it does cost him a Venomancer. Looks like he did indeed get that Poison Nova off before he fell. AA ult not going to connect with Biz, but the Reality Rift going to be there. Frostbite going to come out. There's the Chaos Bolt. Going to be a decent duration stun onto Biz, and this is looking very good for Virtus Pro. God going to be able to get nice and aggressive here. Biz does get the Shallow Grave, and they're going to try and converge onto the Fairy Dragon. Going to do a lot of damage. Nice heal from Dazzle. Will secure that kill, so it ends up being a 2 for 2. But that tier 2 tower in the mid does fall in favor of Virtus Pro, and they've taken a huge tower edge now. They denied that top tier 1, or, no, pardon me, that was the other side, but it is going to be 4-1 in total tower count after that 2 for 2 exchange.
Yep, and Bristol's having a really rough game.
Yeah.
He's not having the kind of impact that Bristol's usually have, and that's mainly because of all their magic damage. Like, Bristol's a good hero when you're getting chased and stuff, but when they have a burst damage, like Puck ulti and then the Puck's up nukes, and then the AALT is just he's getting owned every fight, and the AALT is just making the mech null.
Yeah, that's true actually. We saw him pop it, but just not enough to keep him alive against all this damage. So with that successful team fight here, Chaos Knight going to go back up to about 1,600 in the bank. Kind of curious what build he's going to go for next here. The armlet kind of core. I think maybe just pulling for a heart might be the way to go to tank up a bit. Already pretty tanky, but heart always a good choice on the Chaos Knight.
He might just go BKB, I think.
Yeah, BKB perhaps.
Because of the Orchid. And then Furon, a really big item on him is he has book 3 already.
Oh, wow. Yeah. 2 right now, and does he have the next one? Is it sitting in the bank for him?
I mean, he's gonna get it with the
he's got, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see what. I looked at his gold right after I said that one. Oh, okay, he's just about to pick it up. So Virtus Pro will grab a tier 2 tower in the bottom in exchange for their tier 1 in the mid. It is going to fall, but they've got a pretty good pushing advantage here. They're just going to keep going forward. They say, hey, RoX.KiS, if you're not going to defend this tower, we will certainly chip away at it. Compliments of that Chaos Knight ultimate. Does do some pretty solid work on these towers. Going to get the tier 3 down to just about 2/3 or so. Not bad. Free damage on that tier 3 tower. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. And yeah, there's
another big item pickup is Arzar almost has his Ags in 300 gold.
Yeah, very close. Yeah.
I'm kind of questioning Scandal not going to Midas though. It's like if he doesn't get the kills, he just sits like Clinks. If he doesn't get the kills and he doesn't get a Midas, he just kind of falls off. Meaning that he just doesn't farm as fast without the Midas, I feel.
Well, they might be able to get a kill here onto Illidan. The Orchid comes out straight away. Biz does pounce forward, but it actually doesn't leash, and that may be enough for Illidan to survive. Certainly is. The Orchid damage won't be even close to enough to finish him off. And a missed opportunity there by RoX.KiS, perhaps. That pounce just off the mark.
If he would have died, I think.
Yeah. Definitely,
because the added damage of the pounce and then the Clinks just getting like a few more attacks in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that they added that Orchid graphic. So much easier to see that last tick of damage when it goes off now. Big fan.
Wow, Arzar has his ALT.
Yep.
With Ags.
20 minutes.
Let's see, Yol. He's gonna die, or not die. He's gonna take how much damage?
Oh, is he gonna get hit by it? Oh, just barely. Just barely. Yeah, the AA ult is an interesting ability. It's a very unique ability in the way that it works of how far you away, like you're incentivized to be further away. And we'll hold that thought for a second here as Scandal does initiate on him. The follow-up's going to be here. JOTM going to be that Kamikaze Veno. He does have a Ghost Scepter, and that might be enough to keep him alive. Did get off that Poison Nova. Nature's Prophet falls, as does the Ancient Apparition, but they will be able to grab a kill onto Biz and also on the Slark. So it ends up being a 2 for 2, but needless to say, Virtus Pro come out way ahead. They sacrifice their 2 squishy supports for the 1 position and mid position heroes of RoX.KiS.
Light of Heaven is just so farmed. He's already at the stage where it's like he's impossible to deal with because he can just endlessly split push them with the book 3.
Yeah.
And they don't really have heroes to catch split pushers. Like the Clinks is the hero is one of the heroes in Slark, but the problem is Furon can just TP out of both those heroes. It's not like a Storm or anything that has disables.
Yeah. Yeah, and he is starting to get scary. Number 1 on the net worth chart, and Chaos Knight nipping at his heels. Now, glancing at the gold chart, still holding steady, about a 7,500 gold lead. RoX.KiS holding on to us. Well, Virtus Pro have an experienced edge, but RoX.KiS continuing to put a dent in that graph. But now that all their outer towers are down, another misstep like that in terms of losing the Clinks or the Slark or both, if it's a repeat of what we just saw, Virtus Pro going to have that option to press up and start chipping away at those tier 3 towers. And that's where things start to get a little bit scary. They may want to look at Roshan as well. He's been up, has yet to be contested or attempted by other side. I guess that's really the word I was looking for. But Puck getting pretty close to what will probably be a Sheepstick here. Does have that Mystic Staff already. And some initiation here in the mid. Illidan actually going to burn the ulti. Oh, almost getting that Reality Rift off, but Biz will be able to fog him. And they do survive. Going to waste that cooldown a little bit here. I don't think they're going to be able to get too much out of it. And also, it looks like Chaos Knight is going to be going for that heart. He does have the Reaver.
Yep. Scandal's farming the enemy jungle because he knows that his jungle is actually going to be in a lot of danger. VP has like a lot of map control at this stage because they have they have 1 tier 1 tower left and they have all their tier 3s left. But RoX.KiS only has 1 tier. They actually have no tier 3s left. Tier 2s.
Yeah. The map control, needless to say, way in favor of Virtus Pro with all the towers they've been able to knock down. And the inventory is starting to reflect that a bit. Nature's Prophet now going to grab an ultimate orb. Curious what that's going to turn into. Will it be a Sheepstick as well? Double Sheepstick action here for Virtus Pro?
Possibly. Probably the best item that Light of Heaven can get. Sheep's a really good item versus Slark. So.
Yeah. That's definitely true. I mean, the only other thing I guess it could be is really like a Lincoln's. I don't think he's going to get a Scotty here, so could be a Lincoln's. Would be sort of an odd choice, but Lincoln's a pretty solid utility item to have at your disposal. Maybe not so much against a Bristleback, though, so yeah, I doubt it'll be a Lincoln's. Sheepstick making a bit more sense.
Another big item is that this Venomancer, even though he's 0 and 5, he's managed to farm both a point booster and Scandal's in trouble.
Uh-oh, yep, and there's the ulti from JOTM. In comes the AA ult as well. A lot of damage coming out onto the Clinks. They will secure that kill. What's the buyback scenario here? Clinks does not have it. This could actually be really bad for RoX.KiS. Go Black going to be in some trouble. He does manage to get the shallow grave off, but not going to do a hell of a lot. Yol going to fall also. Going to be an easy 3-0. And now Virtus Pro going to be free to just move into the base. As I mentioned, buyback's looking pretty dismal for RoX.KiS. Dazzle had one. He's going to burn it right away, but I don't want to hate on the Dazzle, but not much he's going to be able to do here. Glyph comes out. This is going to be an easy tier 3 tower kill, and I think this should be a mid lane of Rax as well.
Those two pickoffs were huge.
Yep, and oh man, Dazzle just going to get melted once again. Sadoy in the back, but so little the Bristleback can do. He's been shut down so hard this game. He's going to spam some quills, going to do what he can, but Slark actually going to get initiated on now that his ult is down. He does have the BKB, will burn it, and it will be enough to keep him alive for now. No, Puck going to finish him off. Now the lone defender is going to be this Bristleback. Clinks is back up now, and he actually might be able to grab a kill on JOTM. Ghost Scepter goes off, and that's going to buy him a lot of valuable time. Not enough, though. Yol going to respawn, and the Crystal Nova going to finish him off. It'll cost Yol his life, though, as Illidan goes back in. Clink's now going to lay into him, and that Orchid could be enough to finish him off, perhaps. No, going to eat those wand charges, and he is going to survive. It's a close call, but he makes it out. And actually, RoX.KiS, they hold on to their ranged barracks. They lose the melee. So not the worst hold, but given the setup with Clinks getting picked, a pretty solid hold overall. But yeah, still looking a little bit grim for RoX.KiS at this point. That graph getting out of control. 14,000 gold lead now all of a sudden for Virtus Pro. And uh-oh, that AA ulti, is it going to be enough here? No, perhaps not.
I think it is.
Still does a lot of damage. Yep, there it is. That's the threshold right there. Of course, the well doesn't help you too much. Dazzle, he's going to be fine.
What a spell. That was a level 2 ALT as well, I think. Yep, it was.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Wow. AA 8-1 and 5 right now. He's been involved in 13 of the 19 kills. Very impressive. Arzart making AA look like a very, very powerful and underrated pick here in this match.
Yep, and he's actually going to shoot it at BZZ.
Uh-oh, that might be enough for a kill, actually. Is Dazzle going to be nearby for the grave? BKB going to be used. So we'll burn a BKB charge. Very valuable ulti right there.
Yep. That's actually really obnoxious.
Yeah, it really is.
And the grave came on it.
Yeah, oh, grave for good measure.
Yep, and Bristle has his BKB. I don't feel he's going to be much of a factor. The problem with RoX.KiS's lineup is that they have no way of creep clearing fast. Like, besides the Slark, like when Virtus Pro pushes into their base, they don't really have any long-range spam or anything. They have Crystal Maiden, and then they have, like, the Bristleback, the Quills, but I don't really think that's enough, especially for the books. I don't think they could burst the books extremely fast. I think that's to maybe, like, eat one, has to Death Pact one of the books, but otherwise, I don't know.
Well, items for Virtus Pro continuing to get scarier here. They will move into the Roche pit. Should be a pretty easy Roche kill. RoX.KiS have absolutely no map control. Not a single ward down on the map. Looking at their coverage here, very, very dim in terms of fog of war. So it should be an uncontested Roche. Puck now has a Sheepstick complete. The Heart of Tarask now in the inventory of Chaos Knight, who is pretty close to level 16. And there we go. Nature's Prophet now going to have his Sheepstick. So that last fight was rough for RoX.KiS. Now with these new toys in the inventories of Virtus Pro, I think this next fight going to be even more difficult. Of course, Chaos Knight going to be the one to grab the Aegis. And I think Virtus Pro have everything they need to try and push in and try and break the base. The Glyph still not up for RoX.KiS. They also did lose their Courier. I'm not sure when that happened, but adding insult to injury, I guess, here. Virtus Pro got a little pick-me-up somewhere about the map. But yeah, this lack of Glyph going to make fending off this push very difficult for RoX.KiS.
I think BZZ is going for some smoke gank. I don't know who they have to burst, because who can they burst, really? Has the Sheeps.
Yeah.
Both the supports have Ghost Scepters, and Sadoy just runs in.
Yeah, Sadoy is going to run in as well. BKBs are popped. Virtus Pro just looking for a reset here. Go Black going to take a lot of damage. Dazzle going to be the first to fall without that grave. That could be good news, but Two of the supports going to fall on Virtus Pro. Actually, Nature's Prophet buys back. There's the Aegis as well, but they will have the Sheepstick compliments of Light of Heaven coming back into the fight, and Scandal going to be in big trouble. There's the Orchid. Buybacks coming out of plenty here. RoX.KiS will burn 2 of them on the Slark as well as the CM, as they well should here at this juncture. Dazzle going to have his buyback on cooldown, and they may be able to defend this base. Furion's still up, though. The Tier 3 has fallen. Glyph will be coming up here in just a handful of seconds. Sort of an odd initiation angle here, but Illidan going to come back in. That'll be the end of Yol in the back. Dream Coil finally comes out. Sadoy in some trouble. He's taking a lot of damage. Furion going to be able to click him down. Slark going to fall, and I think this could be the GG coming out before too long. Dazzle will now be the lone defender, and not for long. He'll get sheeped, reality rifted, down he goes, and that will be all 5 in the grave for RoX.KiS. GG, well playeds come out. And Virtus Pro with a convincing win. Unfortunately, going to ruin some of the domination of RoX.KiS here in the round robin. That will now take them to 9-3. Still a great score, but well played by Virtus Pro.
Yeah, that was really good lineup. It kind of sucks that VP doesn't really have a chance, though. Like I assume for top 4.
VP, no. They are. Let's see here. I think they have 6 losses. Virtus Pro, they will now be 9-7 following this victory. So that was actually Virtus Pro's last game. That's their 16th match.
Okay.
So
I guess they played just to stop RoX.KiS's chances.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess they aren't friends.
Yeah. So not a bad last game for Virtus Pro, but that does end their run here for Starladder Season 8 round robin. And that wraps up this match. Now we're still 15 minutes behind schedule. Coming up next will be Mouse Sports versus Empire. Match number 4 of 7 here coming up. And I think Hippie is back with us, and I know you have to scoot before too long, Bulba.
Yep.
So
thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on for one game. Really appreciate it.
And the game, I have no idea what was wrong with it.
No worries, my friend. Shit happens, such as the bane of last-minute live casting, but thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I'll keep you on the reserve for the future if hunting around for co-casters for sure.
Thanks.
Yep. Take care.
You too.